Okay, so what's up? So, my guys are not here today. So, I was actually about to start working on this painting, this sculpture. So, that's what we are going to get into. I guess in a way, I like making, I don't know, I just like doing everything black. I have a project that I'm working on now to where I actually allow myself to come outside of my box. But I love the color black. It's so diverse. I would use white, but whenever I use the white paint and then I have to resin a project, it's kind of like the white paint eventually it ends up like turning into like a yellowish color. It's almost like the white color begins to tarnish. It's just weird. You know. So, I feel kind of weird. I don't know why I feel weird. I do. I don't understand what the fuck is going on. I just don't understand. Like, in my head, it was just very complaining, and I'm just like, I cannot take the complaining shit. And then it's kind of like I'm trying to, you know, um, I'm communicating all the things in which that I'm going through, right? And, you know, how that even though I'm going through certain things, like, like I don't complain about it. You see, people, they want to complain and they don't know or realize that there's somebody else, going through either the same thing that they're going through or they're going through something a lot worse. And they possibly have been going through something for a very long time. And it's just like they really don't have time for your fucking whining. You know what I mean? And that's not to be cold and that's not to be hard, you know. But, you have to learn how to train yourself. You have to learn how to program yourself. Like what do you want, like, how do you want to create the content of your mind? you know like the complaining and the pessimism, it's very draining, you know and most people are this way. Most people complain. They complain, because a lot of people are spoiled, more spoiled than what they realize. And they're not satisfied. They have a problem with satisfaction, with being satisfied. It's always more. I want more. I need more. Sometimes that's okay, right? But when you're trying to create, a more a stable mind, you know, it's kind of like allow your mind to be the most beautiful thing about you. You know, allow your mind to be the most beautiful thing about you. The body is going to do what the body does. You can preserve it as long as you want. Of course, you want to appreciate and take care of your body, you know. Um, but you're not going to always be in the best shape. The body is going to age. You are going to age. You know, the mind is like the conductor. If you can create more of a harmonious perspective in different areas of your life, then you will begin to notice the quality of life begins to change, right? So what is an example of this? Let me give you an example. Now, this comes natural for me, okay? Usually, whenever I'm going through things, I enjoy helping somebody out. I enjoy making somebody else's day. I enjoy doing something that's going to put a smile on somebody else's face or help them to forget about their worries or what have you, just for a moment. Okay? So, this morning, while I'm going through what I'm going through, because it's kind of like, it was like a battle. Somebody is complaining. It's like one half is complaining about this, and that. And I'm just like, oh my God, I don't want to hear that. Like, you have to, because the complaining was something in which, that I have overcome before. I have overcome many times. you know, and I'm just like, no, like, I'm not going to allow this bullshit. I'm not, because it felt like trauma bonding, you know, and I'm just like, I must be like trauma bonding in a negative way, you know, either with myself. I really don't feel like it was anybody else. You know, I honestly felt like that I was more so picking up, like I was hearing things, like picking up on things, but I don't think that I was actually like having like a telepathic conversation with anyone. It was more so of just picking up on the thoughts. And I'm just like, you know, I don't like no complaining ass mind. That's a waste of time. You cannot find solutions. You know, complaining, it dissipates your mind. You know, what happens when the mind gets tired? You become angry. You're exhausted. You're cranky. You can't find solutions. You don't have enough energy. But one thing that really annoys me is when I'm giving advice and I'm being ignored because the individual just wants to stay in the energy in which that they're in. And I'm just like, this is not helpful. You know, and I'm helping you with solutions, and you're not, you know, you're not wanting to accept the help or think twice about the solution. So to me, it's kind of like it's a lost cause. Because one thing about it, when it comes to you taking care of your mental health, your emotional health, it's something that you have to want to do. It's not going to be easy. I don't care how much support you have. You know, if you don't learn how to be independent, when you don't have that support, then, you know, you're going to have a hard time. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. So, you know, I'm just like, because there are a lot of people going through things right now, you know, and, you know, I don't have time for the crying shit, point blank period. You know, like I said, don't suppress how you feel, but you cannot wallow there, you cannot stay there, you cannot drain yourself there. Eventually, you have to make a decision. You're going to have to make a decision. You know, am I going to be consumed? Is my mind going to control me, or am I going to take my power back? You know, am I going to take control of my life and stop blaming other people and stop blaming the world? Like, you know. So, to make a long story short, I just couldn't take this shit. So I said, you know what? I need to get out of this house. You know, I had worked on my project earlier. I went for my walk. It just seems like every time I came in the house, I had to deal with it, you know. So I'm just like, enough is enough. So there's this guy that I met at the laundromat, and I mean, I don't know what you would consider him, because he's not homeless, but at the same time, he does have things going on mentally, you know. But I remember, you know, being at the laundromat, and he was there. He was just sitting there minding his business. A woman pulls up and she has issues with her car. And I mean, he's trying to help this woman, like, with her car. He's doing everything in which that he can, you know. And I took notice of it, and I was just like, you know, he's a nice guy. You know, because most people don't care. Because, I mean, she asked me for some tools. You know, I mean, I let her use what I have. But, I mean, shit. Me, myself, at that time, during that time, I wasn't worried about her car being messed up and being stranded. You know, well, it was the 4th of July. So, I mean, I don't know. It's like, I just felt like it was nothing she could do. It was a holiday. There's nobody open. Like, you know, maybe you should just leave your car, catch your Uber home, or what have you. You know, I mean, I didn't know what the fuck to do. So, shit. I wasn't going to worry myself about it. I did what I could. But normally, you know, I am more concerned in situations like that, especially with dealing with women. But that day, I was just like, no, I'm tired, you know. So, but I mean, I watched him. I watched him do his thing, and you know, he helped her. He got her straight, you know. So, he comes to me and he asks me. He says, "Do you have a cigarette? Do you have this? Do you have that?" I'm just like, "Well, no, didn't bring my cigarettes." You know, I was just like, "But I'll buy you a Black and Mild from the store." You know, so we walked over to the store. I got him a Black and Mild, and he asked me, "Did I know how to do hair?" I said, "Well, what do you want done to your hair?" Now he had a little man bun, so he didn't have anything. He didn't have anything that was. He didn't have a whole head of hair. So you know, he tells me, he's just like, "Can you do hair?" And I was just like, "Yeah, what you want?" He was like, "You think you can braid my hair? How much do you want me to pay you?" So I told him $20. I had no plans on taking the money, but I had to tell him a price so he wouldn't try to play me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I really don't cause I didn't take time out to judge him or to discern him. I didn't want to. I didn't feel like I had to. But at the same time, whenever it comes to me dealing with men, I be setting some boundaries. So I told him I was like $20, you know, because I didn't want him thinking anything else. Because sometimes when you be too nice to a man, they try to play you like they try to play you on some other shit, you know. Like, I don't want to be played. But, I never intended on taking the money, even though I gave him a number. So I told him, we're pretty much done with that. You see that though? And of course, I got to clean this up around here. But anyway, like I was saying. So I told him, I said, well, if you're out here tomorrow, then I'll do your hair. It's almost been about 3 weeks since I seen him or that I went to the laundromat. I do ride past the laundromat to get to certain places, but I mean, I've seen them. But I mean, I don't know. I really didn't take him serious. Like I said, I really didn't want the money. So, I mean, I wasn't pressed to do his hair. So, a friend of mine was at the laundromat, and my friend calls me. He's just like, "Yeah, your friend out here," and I'm just like, "Who? What friend?" I call him. I think that he's Hispanic. So I say, this Hispanic guy. He was just like, "Yeah." So I said to myself, I said, today is a good day for me to go walk over there and do his hair. So that's what I did. I walked over there and I saw him, and of course he remembered me. I asked him, I said, "You want your hair done?" So he tells me, he says, "Well, I don't have any money." And I'm just like, "Just come on, let me do your hair." So he was just like, "Okay." So I mean, I did his hair, and he was telling me how he lost his job. So, he's an immigrant and he doesn't have his green card, so it's very hard for him to get work. Then on top of that, he reveals to me that he has, some mental issues. I think he said he was schizophrenia and bipolar. So he was telling me about his medication and certain shots. He takes a shot every month. I never heard anything about that. It was kind of hard for him to explain to me, this shot, but I was very curious about it because I'm just like, I never heard of anybody getting a shot. Usually individuals are, on like a prescription, like a daily or weekly medicine. So because he has to actually go, like, I don't know. I won't even listen to it. I don't think it's when he was talking, I saw this building of it's like a government building. So what came to me when he was talking was that they're actually testing on him through that shot. So I'm just like, oh, okay. I have my suspicions about it, but there's nothing that I can do. So he's just talking to me, um, telling me a lie. And this is also another way as to how I do art therapy with individuals too. Like my energy, we have chakras in our hands. I do perform Reiki. That's why a lot of the times when I get close to people, I'll get readings from them, you know. So I told myself, I said, I need to go, I'm gonna go and do his hair, and I'm gonna just kind of help him work things out mentally. I didn't know that he lost his job. So I'm glad that I came that day, because you know how brothers get when they hair done, honey. I'm talking about he was all up in the window, putting his bun in, like he was feeling so good. You could see a shift. And there's something mentally. I can tell when people are mentally off by looking at their eyes. His eyes shifted. So I'm just like, well, I think I did something, you know. It was like a glow just came over him. So, but of course, because he was happy because his hair was done, and stuff as small and as simple as that. Then on top of that, he didn't have to pay for it. And then on top of that, mentally, what he's going through is like, oh, well, I don't have enough money. I can't do this. That's all he kept saying the whole time. Just talking about how he don't have money, how he does this and that. So, after I did his hair, I'm just like, well, now you can take some time out to just rest and relax. Your hair is one less thing you got to worry about. Just enjoy your life for right now. You know. I like working with the head. I hate people touching my hair. I hate people touching my head, but I like touching other people's heads. I don't trust nobody with my crown. That's what it be. I don't trust nobody with my crown, but I know other people can trust me. But anyway, that's going to wrap up for today. So until next time, we'll talk again. But until then, thank you.